Hey, welcome to Michael's drop ceiling framing direction video. I think I've just opened up Michael's plan, and the only changes I've made is I changed the line weights and colors of these things so you can see it. He has a bearing beam right here. This is a bearing beam, I believe. It's bearing beam. If I uncheck it, I'm not sure if it makes any difference. I don't think it does. And then what he has right here is he has this. This is a wall right here structure. It's not even a bearing wall. It's not even a bearing wall. Give me a second. I think I know what he's got though. Tab, right there. This is what he's got. He's got one of these things that essentially defines the wall as a bearing wall, which means floor joist break on top of it. Floor joist break on top of it. And so this is what he had in his plan in the very beginning. And he did a great video, but I'm not sure if he was clear on what helped this changes out. Let's talk about this right here. I think he said, well, I don't know what he said. I know what he said, but I'm going to Control Z. I'm sorry. I'm going to automatically put on automatic framing. That's not the way I work. So here we go. So this right here is simply changing the direction of the floor joist. How do you know that? Because if I come over here 9 and ceiling joists are going to be magenta, okay, and floor joists are going to be how about red? Done. So you can just see what's going on, red and magenta. So so I have not controlled the ceiling joist yet. And this is where I was getting a little confused. See, I could change the floor joist all I want. Now, this is what Michael did. By the way, tab. This is sort of interesting here too, because what Michael did was he put another one of these lines here. And you know what that is? It's the bearing line beam. It's a bearing line beam 9. Make it at 120, just so you can really see it. There, you can see the bearing line beams. This is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you I can get rid of that bearing line beam. No, I'm gonna take this beam right here, this floor beam, and I'm gonna make it a bearing beam. Oh, it is a bearing beam. So I don't think I need this. I don't need that. The joists stay the same. If I take this beam, I think FB. If I take that beam, my videos always go too long. I know it. Bearing beam. Uncheck it as a bearing beam. I don't know. I thought, oh, there, yeah, you see what's going to happen. But if I turn it back into a bearing beam, if I turn this back into a bearing beam, I think the joists are going to be there. Michael was using what was this line called? Michael was using I don't know what he was using. What's that called? That's called it's a bearing line. He was using a bearing line. And I just got rid of that bearing line there, and I'm using a bearing beam. And a bearing beam acts the same as a bearing line. That's the difference. You understand what I'm saying? You open that a bearing beam. If I take that bearing beam out, watch what happens. I don't know. F12. Oh, there. I had to hit F12. And then this, for whatever reason, this direction overrules this. I don't know why. But if I come back here and take this bearing beam and I change it back to a bearing beam, I make it a bearing beam, the joists behave correctly. Now here's the key. This is the key. This is the key. What Michael said was if I move this bearing line, what he did in his video, he got rid of his 2 bearing lines, and he came back and put one back in later on. I'm not sure what I did. He said this has to be offset a little bit from this wall, and I'm not sure. I don't know if I changed this or not. Structure. It's never been a bearing wall. I don't think I changed it. I don't think he had it defined as a bearing wall, but so who cares? But we see what's going on. Now, what Michael would say, I think this is what he said. He said, you got to put this little thing, this bearing wall, a little bit over to the side, and then the key is I want my floor joist. It has to be outside the room. You can't have 2 of these things in the same room. That's what he said. So this is what I want to do. I want to take this, Control CV, stick it right there. I want to make it really, 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 really short. Okay, I think this is what he did. Control X and V, and you stuck it right. I saw what he did. He did it. Oh, there you go. There you go. So now I've got my these floor joists running like this. Now I'm going to see if I can put my I'm going to see if I can change my ceiling joist. By the way, do I have a? And what's interesting is somehow I got a bearing line in here because I kept that a bearing beam. It's so much fucking work to get this thing to work. It's like you gotta stand on your tiptoes and do a rain dance. I mean, they made it look simple, but I'm looking at all the other different variations. I mean, what am I doing wrong now? First of all, I have to move this stupid bearing line on the other side of the wall. Does that make any sense? No, I don't think so. Okay, let me just see. Settle down, young man. Settle down. So if I take a joist direction, and now my key is I think I'm going to be able to control the ceiling joist. No, I can't. So I'm going to take this and cut that out. Am I doing something wrong? All right, let's just back it up, you. That's not going to be a bearing beam anymore. Fine. I don't care. I'm not going to fight this. Look, it shouldn't be this hard. I shouldn't have to be doing backflips to get this fucking thing to work. So I'm going to take this. This is what Michael said. He said, move. You can't have this thing in two different rooms. So I'm going to put this right here. F12 to rebuild. Okay. Now I want to build my ceiling joist. Control C, V. Okay, it's a Mac thing. It's a Mac thing, or I'm still doing something wrong. What am I doing wrong different than... Okay, now I think Michael... is this supposed to be a bearing wall? Is this a Mac thing? I mean, didn't I do it? Aren't I doing it the same way as Michael? This is not... I've really super simplified this. I think I've super simplified this. Okay, what happens with these joists run like... I'm just about done. I can't stand this stuff. I can't stand this stuff. I spent fucking... There's my floor joist. There's my ceiling joist. Control X. I can't even get my ceiling joist to react now. I mean, I can't even get my ceiling joist to react now. I have auto framing on, by the way. I just do. Should this be a bearing wall? Structure. F12. That's a bearing wall. But by the way, I don't think Michael had this as a bearing wall because if you look at his stuff, his ceiling joists run whatever. His ceiling joists are continuous. So I don't think he even had this. Why am I doing this? All I want to change is the direction of my ceiling joist. Why can't I do it? Okay, hang on. Control X. See, and this is controlling the ceiling joist. That's what I keep seeing. Is it a Mac thing? Look, I don't have anything controlling anything except... I don't know. Am I doing it wrong? It's so funny. I swear I watched Michael's video, and he made it look so easy. I looked at Glenn's video; he made it look so easy. But what am I doing wrong here? This is not a bearing wall. This is not a bearing beam. In fact, I'll even just delete that beam. And I know I want to drop ceiling in this room here. I don't want to drop ceiling in this room over here. I didn't fix. I don't think I fixed his ceiling finish. Here we go. This should be 0.5. That should be with drywall. Materials of DRY drywall. And Michael would say this too. There's your fur framing, and this is your 16-inch tab of opening, no material, opening. Opening. Oh, how about this? Opening. Done. Yeah, see, it's way down here. So now I think I built it right. So I don't. It might be a Mac thing. I'm just telling you, it might be a Mac thing. I don't want to. I'm going to delete all of my framing. I'm going to delete all my framing. How do you do that, Michael? You made it look so easy. I just do things a different way, I guess. Delete. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna build my ceiling frame. I'm gonna build my ceiling framing first, right? So go over here. Framing. Build my ceiling framing above floor number 1. There you go. I don't have anything there, and it doesn't work for me. Nothing. This is not controlling the ceiling joist at all. Anyway, that's the problem. That's the problem. So I have nothing here. This is not a bearing wall. This is just a bearing line. I'll put it wherever you want me to put it. And I'll go ahead and rebuild my ceiling framing. Rebuild my ceiling, build ceiling framing. I guess it goes the whole ceiling, of course. Of course. I mean, you know, what the heck. So I'm on a Mac, and my Mac cannot control the direction of my floor joist. Done. I mean, I have no other floor joist being shown. I have nothing to show floor joist direction. In fact, I don't even have my floor joist drawn. If I come over here to ceiling joist, on ceiling joist, build ceiling framing again, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm done. That's the end.